Welcome, everybody, to the Loading Up Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Producer Jay. I'm here. We're a full party this week with Brother Zay.
They kidnapped me. Help.
He's back from his busy schedule, because I feel like he's always busy. I don't know how you find time to sleep.
Let's not talk about that. Sometimes. I do.
We're also here with... Oh, good.
No, I find time to sleep normally, just not this weekend.
I hear you. Also here with Brother Zay.
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, guys? How you been?
Pretty good. Like I said, just running on 2 hours of sleep. Normal life.
I don't think that's normal.
No, it's not normal at all.
It's not.
No.
It's not normal. I just said that just to keep it pushing.
It's normal for you, maybe.
Not even. I normally get at least 6 hours. I try to at least.
Yeah, it is what it is. Any games you guys been playing? Anything new? Anything old? Anything current?
Yeah, I've been actually was playing through the Horizon series, and I beat Horizon Zero Dawn.
I'm like, which Horizon? Because there's multiple.
No, Horizon Zero Dawn. I beat it, and I like the story.
Wait, already? You just started it and you beat it already?
Listen here, I'm trying to actually finish the backlog.
Oh boy.
So I beat that, and I started Forbidden West. So chugging along in those games, as well as playing, Dead Island, and we started playing the Horde mode in State of Decay 2, because they added a Horde mode recently, and it is stressful.
Wait, didn't they? Wait. Maybe I'm thinking of a different mode, because I know they had a mode that's similar to Horde mode, where it's like it's like more of a tower defense type though.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Then that's not new.
Yeah.
That's
not
not
new.
new.
Well,
I don't think it was new to you.
They probably just reloaded it, like a refresher of it.
Maybe they changed it.
Yeah, it's new to me. So we started playing that today. So I'm finishing games and also playing some new stuff from these older games that we have.
I feel you. But Zay?
I've actually gone down the rabbit hole of you remember the people who created Until Dawn?
Oh, yes. Shit. What's their names?
Dan.
Yeah, they made that one too.
Yep. I'm down that rabbit hole for like the past 2 weeks.
I played Pictures Anthology, right?
Yep. Well, like we did until especially on our Twitch streaming channel. Not this podcast, my friends and mine. Which is, I'm not gonna, unless you want me to shameless plug, I'm not gonna do it.
Go ahead, no matter.
That's okay. Yeah.
But no, you can't. It's our show.
How dare you?
Right?
We just did. We did.
No, say it. What is it?
Yeah, on the Twitch channel Ace of Shadows, we did Man of a Dam, and then we did Little Hope, like this week.
Okay, so, isn't there like 4 games right now?
Yeah,
in that series.
Yep, there's another one that we have to get, but we'll see when we do that one.
Because I got the whole collection, but I didn't make it past the beginning part because of a glitch.
That would probably make sense.
Yeah, because they released because I just so happened, they probably did it on purpose, where they updated the game and then put them all on sale together. So I got it on a sale.
Yep.
But the update introduced a glitch that wouldn't let you progress further past the thing, a certain part. So I just stopped, and I was waiting. I think they just updated it like a few weeks ago.
Like I said, that makes sense. That happens.
And the developer is Supermassive Games.
Okay.
I would have never gotten that off top of my head, so I had to look it up.
I was just worried about the whole name because of the whole series. So you haven't, Brother Zay, you haven't played the House of Ashes one, right?
Not
the
yet.
Newer one.
Not yet. I think that's the one. I think that's the next one.
Yeah.
What about The Quarry? I know that I heard about that one.
Which one is The Quarry? Is that?
I don't know if that's part of that anthology.
It might be, because the House of Ashes, in my memory, is the one where like people go into a murder house, and then they realize that they're actually in danger. And I think the one you're talking about is like the army one, where they actually go into like it's like something about the war of Iraq and some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I know The Quarry is. They also made The Quarry, but that's like a separate thing.
I believe Yeah, I think the Quarry is next. The Quarry should technically be next for us, but we'll
You doing
see.
by like
House
release
of,
order?
it should have been House of Ashes.
We'll look
Are
at
you
it
doing
again.
it by like release order, or are
Yeah,
you doing
if you're
it?
doing release orders, House of Ashes.
I think we're doing it by release order, but like when we finished Little Hope, they had like a whole they had like a whole list of all the games like as a movie, like movie frames in movie theaters.
Oh,
So it was this one. It was like showed the army one, which I think is in the Quarry. Because in Little House of Ashes, you know that game likes to give you previews to like what's going to happen in the
because they
future.
treat it like a yeah.
Yeah, so that's why like they showed in the Quarry, which is in the war, like what happened to one of the characters in the war first. That's why I think that one's supposed to be next. But I could be wrong. I live
Well,
my
it sounds
life.
fun because I know those games are meant to play like with multiple people. At least it's more fun with multiple people.
It's multiple people and multiple playthroughs.
Yes,
Little Hope really kind of got us fucked up.
really.
Not in the sense of like, damn, what is going on? And we're like, oh, so that's what happened. This is what this game is really about. God, they really kind of.
I always love games with like that it makes you feel like damn, like when you just play through it and you just like that. The last game that made me feel like that, and oddly enough, it's also like a story-based game, which is The Walking Dead.
Oh my God,
The first season that
that fucking makes me sad every day.
I know. I've never felt like so depressed after playing a game. Like he's supposed to make me happy. Yeah. You never played it?
No, I've played all of them. They're great games.
Oh my God, you need to. Oh no, wait.
I have.
Oh, you have. So
I love those games.
Yeah,
game is fucking tragic.
Honestly, that for that year, it was very close to being like my game of the year. I remember like putting it way up there, and I was like, yo, that made me feel all the feels. But anyway, we can move on to the news because we got a few stories.
Do we? Yes, we do.
We do.
Kidding.
Just a few.
I would hope so.
So we're gonna start with some PlayStation news. So Insider Gaming reported that they had an interview with Jim Ryan, and he states that Sony will not release their first-party games day and date on PC ever. They said that they see a favorable, interactions when games are released years later onto the PC. So exact words were, we also fully understand the importance of PlayStation 5 exclusive titles. PlayStation Studios' main responsibility is to have people enjoy the game experience using the latest PlayStation. We're increasing the number of PS5 exclusive titles and staggering the releases of the PC version. So they're gonna come out on PC, but just maybe a year to year and a half, up to 2 years, for releasing on the PC. Which it kind of sucks for PC gamers.
Yeah, it's definitely not good news for them. Because I know... Go ahead.
No, it kind of sucks, but also part of my brain's like, I think they'd be alright.
No, absolutely they'll be alright. It's because, I mean, think about it. They just started bringing stuff to PC. And for the longest time, the only way to play games like The Last of Us or God of War was on a PlayStation. You had to get one in order to play those games. So it was kind of like... that kind of is what led to the quality control that PlayStation had for such a long time, because they focused on the console, and it works for them because obviously they're in first place, so they don't have
They
don't need to release on PC for any reason. They're doing it because obviously like that's just more money for them. But that's why they're adopting this staggered release, because they can do it. They can afford it. They know people will come to PlayStation to play their games first. And then if you really want to wait, you can wait on PC.
I mean, it's just when you got, other studios just releasing day and date, Xbox, or when you can download things for Nintendo so you can play them on your PC. You invest all this money on this, gaming PC, and then you can't play some of the best games. It kind of sucks for them.
Yeah, no, it definitely does suck. And I will say, technically this is anti-consumer because they're not thinking about the PC consumer. That's one thing that like Xbox is really focusing on, giving more players the chance to play their games wherever they want.
Every time.
That's good, but they're also doing it out of necessity because
every time you bring this up, I keep telling you, Sony doesn't give a fuck about the consumer.
I am fully aware that they don't give a shit.
Always say it with me now. What's it about? Give me the money.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
And not only that, this has also been it's a precedent that was set by actually Rockstar, because Rockstar was the one who did the staggered release. Remember, they released GTA 5 first on consoles, and then like 2 years later they brought it to PC, and the same people bought it again for PC. It's like
with GTA 5, everybody brought it again.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. They also did it with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
so that's the Rockstar strategy.
I will not talk anything bad about Rockstar.
I mean, this wasn't in the news that we went through, but side note,
Rockstar owns us.
No, that Grand Theft Auto 6 was teased, and by one of the the actors who's gonna be one of the main characters. He posted on Instagram like a beachfront or whatever, but he was dressed as in the same outfit as the leak that was like, what was it, last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it might be coming soon. We might be hearing about GTA 6 soon.
I don't know, man. A lot of leaks, a lot of rumors, especially around summertime with E3 coming, or the showcases.
E3?
Not E3.
I was gonna say there's not E3.
That's not E3. Yeah. So a lot of stuff comes out slowly but surely. A lot of rumors. So I just like to wait and see, because who knows?
Yeah.
It's a cesspool of garbage mostly.
Yeah, no, that was another thing that was like rampant on like social media, the fake showcase list.
Oh my god, it was hilarious for both showcases.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later on in the show.
Later. Yeah. So we got a little bit more of some PlayStation news. So Ralph Grassetti, the art director behind Sony Santa Monica's latest entries into the God of War series, is leaving the studio. The industry veteran announced his departure on Twitter, and he has some words. He says today is my last day at Sony after over a decade of being part of the incredible journey. He says it's bittersweet, but above all, he's overwhelmed with the gratitude and the countless opportunities he's been fortunate to have. And he says Sony's like a second home, and he's grateful to have been involved with God of War. And he's been there for over a decade. He has some extensive background. He worked on characters in games for The Order 1886 and Mass Effect 3. And he's even produced, did artwork for DC Comics, Marvel Comics, and Image Comics. And he's even done artwork for toys for Hasbro and McFarlane Toys. So he's got some extensive background for artwork.
Oh, so basically he's like designing conceptual stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He'll definitely be an asset to wherever he lands next.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's hard to see someone go for someone who's been with a company for so long, but you also have to wonder why. Especially after the release of God of War, we don't know where this is leading to, if they're going to do another God of War game at all. We always hear rumors, of course they're going to do a God of War, but when you have one of the major art directors leave, you're wondering, are they going to continue or not? Are they going a different direction? Who knows?
I mean, usually I feel like whenever a person of note leaves a big studio that they've been with for so long, it's usually either to start a new studio of their own or to join like an up and coming studio. Because I feel like There's three.
I feel like another reason, if anytime I hear like a long time person leaving any sort of company they've been a part of for so long, I'm like, part of it also has something to do with like they wouldn't leave, like they would leave for like new opportunities, like you said, to join new teams, but also has an opportunity of like someone's caused them too much stress. Something's going.
That's true.
I always we always got to play like a slight devil's advocate type, but
or they could just be burnt out too.
There's
like
also
maybe they're just tired of working on the same game for so long, because that's all Sony Santa Monica has been making is just God of War.
I can't do Kratos no more, motherfucker.
It's like I can't look at this bald guy anymore. Like I was gonna say something really bad.
Oh Lord.
no. Cut. Yeah. We're gonna move right along now, folks. We're having technical difficulties.
What?
So our next article is about Overwatch 2 and the canceled PvE segment of the game that they have been working on for the past 4 years, and just up and canceled it completely out of nowhere, with leaving me in the dark. Because I've been a Overwatch fan for a long time. They had a PvE sections during some events, and they've been fun. And what they showed of the PvE looked really cool. They said they were working on it for Overwatch 2, and there was going to be some extensive game, and they just released Overwatch 2, the multiplayer version, and said they're still working on it. And then all of a sudden, it's gone, leaving fans to wonder why, what happened.
Yeah, this is really a bad look for them, because one of the main marketing points for Overwatch 2 was this idea of a player versus enemy mode.
Yeah.
And it was like that was the main selling, well, not the main selling point, it was one of the biggest selling points, is why they needed a second game instead of just updating the first one. Now you're getting rid of it for reasons unknown. Like, at least they should have said, hey, it wasn't working, or we want to focus on other stuff, or like a little bit of transparency would have gone a long way. But this is also Activision we're talking about. So they're not going to be transparent. They're just going to do shit to piss you off, and you're just going to like it or not. I don't know.
I mean, they're working on it for 4 years. They had early builds because they showed the stuff in like alpha footage, where like skill trees and unique abilities for certain characters during the PvE, and it just made you wonder why. And we still don't have an answer. And it's just like, well, was it because
it probably just
wasn't a cash grab? Like,
it probably just wasn't. It probably just wasn't fun.
Why?
Like maybe they tried to
tell them that it's human weapon.
But maybe they tried to they tried to implement it, and they tested it out, and they introduced it like a little bit, but the feedback that they probably got was that it wasn't as good as it probably could have been, and they decided, rather than just constantly trying to work at this endlessly, let's just cancel it. Or I mean, personally, I would have. Granted, I don't play Overwatch. I haven't played since like the first one came out, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so like it doesn't really affect me. But like, if I were like a diehard fan, I would at least have it just be like it's postponed indefinitely, and then like just have it just leave people's minds, because I feel like that's a little bit an easier pill to swallow than to just be like, yeah, it's never coming, guys.
I don't know. I feel like, them in that aspect of where you're thinking, I'd rather just the Band-Aid of we canceling it is bye, and then we'll for a little while, and then we'll get over it.
I guess. But then what's stopping? Well, did they end support for the first one?
No. Well, the first one, basically, all they did was put 2 on it and update
I know,
it. But that's it.
Oh wait, so it wasn't like a separate client or like a separate game download?
No, they literally paused all the servers, everything, and then it updated, and then it was said Overwatch 2, and that was it.
Wow. I thought it was a whole separate download.
No, it's the same. That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. And what they did was they took out the loot boxes system, and they added a store where you can buy skins for like $20. And they weren't even like really cool theme skins like before. They were just like, oh, here's a skin that's a shade of red, or here's this skin in shade of blue. pay us $20 for it. That's why I feel like it was just a big cash grab for them.
I mean, yeah, but loot boxes really suck.
You know what?
Don't say it.
I'm not defending loot boxes. They did suck.
If there's a but in this sentence,
there's always a but.
Oh my gosh.
I did buy loot boxes, and just the chance of getting something really cool, right, was better than paying $20 for one little skin. You know, you had an opportunity when you had loot boxes.
Never go to Vegas.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm not going. I don't gamble. I don't gamble for this reason. It's just shitty on them, you know, with the way they handle everything.
I mean, overall, it is a shitty situation, and especially for fans of the game. So
yeah, I mean,
I feel for them.
They have these really cool cinematic, sort of like movies whenever a character comes out, you know, and they can do so much with the lore of Overwatch. You know, they have the comics. They can make like animated movies. They can make an actual campaign instead of just working on this. But it's like they don't. It's like you can do so much.
Yeah, that's something I always question. It's like they put a lot of effort into like the backstories of these characters and their their models and all that stuff. But it's just like they're just a character. Like there's no like you have to go through other means to find out more about their story. It's like, why not just put that in the game? Like, create a story mode for them or whatever.
Exactly. The little cinematic movies that you get for when the characters releases, and all the little movies that they did make were amazing. We need more of that in game form. Like, come on, give us that. And that's what people wanted. And that's what they thought this was going to be. And maybe it wasn't. I know a lot of people don't care about the whole PvE going away thing, especially because they just wanted to play the multiplayer. I get that. You want to play the multiplayer, that's fine. But I just felt like this was a shitty move to do.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave Overwatch in the gutter, and we'll keep right on going because we're talking a little bit about Xbox games. And Xbox debuts PC games to NVIDIA GeForce Now members beginning May 18th. That was just a few days ago. So they started releasing Gears 5, Grounded, Deathloop, and Pentiment, all coming to NVIDIA GeForce Now cloud gaming. That's from that cloud gaming agreement that they signed with them. And it just goes to show you that they're out there. They're honoring their agreements. They're putting these games out there on these services and making it available to them.
Yeah, it wasn't just all fluff just for the regulators. Like, they actually were gonna do this.
Oh yeah. This is just more proof that they're willing to do whatever they need to do to get that deal to go through.
Now bring Gears 5 to the Switch, then we'll start talking.
Why?
Just because.
Because I want it. What do you mean, why?
Exactly.
You have an Xbox and
it doesn't matter. I just want to see it.
You heard me.
It's gonna run like 15 frames per second.
Did I ask for the complications? You heard the man.
No. They can't even run their own games with good performance. You think Gears gonna run good?
They can do it.
They can try. Look,
Nintendo Nintendo fanboys really piss me off.
I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. I just want to see it. I just want them to throw it in their face because I think it was the CMA that was saying like they can't get Call of Duty to run on the Switch. Like, oh yeah? I just want them to do it. Throw it in their face.
It was running on a DS and the Wii. Of course they could do it on the Switch.
Exactly. So put Gears on the Switch.
You did help yourself in that one. All you did was give him more.
I know.
You're like, see, you understand. Now do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna continue going. We have an article here from IGN. They're talking about Take-Two CEO, and he's in support of Microsoft's Activision deal. And his main quote was, "What's good for them is good for the industry." Because even as we discussed with the EU being approving of the deal, they did mention in their reports that the console space will have better competition with Activision under Xbox. It will force Sony and even Nintendo to continue to innovate and bring games out that can rival the Activision games. So, we have CEO Strauss Zelnick. He expressed his support for it, and just his comments in general, all very supportive. He says, I think it's important never to confuse a distribution technology with a business model. I would love to believe that streaming our titles would massively expand the marketplace. I'm not sure there's any reason to believe that. And he's talking about cloud gaming. And he just, all of it is all in support of the deal, because he knows that if Xbox can compete, then Sony has to compete harder. And when Sony and Xbox are competing, the consumer gets all the glory. They get all the good stuff out of it.
Yeah. Competition creates cash. Like, that's like the old saying. And not only that, but if Xbox and Sony or PlayStation are competing harder for the consumer dollars, that means there's more consumers to sell games to.
Sure.
Yeah. More people are buying Xbox. More people are buying PlayStations. So that's more money for Take-Two to make by selling their games on those systems. Yeah. So it only makes sense to want more competition in this industry. Not only that, but it also doesn't really affect Take-Two because they make a shitload of money anyway. So
wasn't like, how much were they making a month just off of GTA Online? It was a ridiculous amount.
It was like $1 billion or something like that. Something crazy like that.
It was, like the first couple months, it was like they were making like $1.5 billion a month. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's like, it don't stop.
I was gonna say my favorite line of that whole thing was like, "What's best for us is what's best for business." I was like, "That's a cocky line to say."
Well, that exactly. I was like, that's what I'm saying.
That's a real cocky thing to say. I love the way this man is. If I am this worker, I love the way these men talk. So I'm like, yes, sir.
It also helps because all right. So, side note about like Call of Duty in particular, because I know Activision, Blizzard, like they have all their other games, but mainly what their bread and butter is Call of Duty. That's been an annual series for, I can't even remember, since its inception. Maybe it was Call of Duty 3. I feel like that's when it started. But anyway, so it's been a yearly release since then, and it's only gotten bigger, and every year studios and publishers have to kind of maneuver around Call of Duty as to not cannibalize their own sales, because they want to sell their game, but if they release too close to Call of Duty, people might not buy their game. But ever since this acquisition has been a thing, people have been saying that Microsoft would have no incentive to continue the annual release schedule, because they can just keep one game going for like 2-3 years and just release updates, and people will still be playing it. People still play these games so long. There's people still playing freaking Black Ops 4. Like there's a dedicated fan base for these games that don't necessarily move on to the next Call of Duty, especially because they're made by different studios each time. So it makes more sense just to keep one game going for a while and then release a new one when there's need for a new one. If Microsoft were to do that, that would free up a lot of time or a lot of space in between for new games to flourish. So absolutely more developers and publishers are going to be for this deal, because it frees up the freaking holiday season, because people are not going to be buying Call of Duty like that anymore because there's no new release. It's just going to be an update or a Warzone patch or whatever. So yeah, that's why people, mainly the publishers, are okay with it, because it benefits them.
Yeah. I mean, they can even do, like, if they do, like, bi-yearly releases, that can come out where maybe we'll actually get a Titanfall 3 or a really good Battlefield, Maybe we'll actually have competition instead of just Call of Duty.
Exactly. I'm telling you, there's been so long that people move out of the way for Call of Duty, and they delay their games into the following year just because they don't wanna compete with them in the holidays, because that's all the kids want. They want to play Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, Call of Duty Christmas noobs.
It's also the best time to play.
I was like, why'd you like the way you said that? It's crazy.
That's also why I stopped. Like after the first few months, I'm just like, I'm not competing with these tryhards.
Oh, you see, he was a Call of Duty Christmas noob.
He was a victim.
You were the victim. Okay, I see.
I understand. It's happened to me too. I understand.
We all been there.
Speak for yourself. Let's go to the next article. We got China. China has approved the ABK deal, and with no concessions. That's it. Unconditional clearance.
It's really insane when China seems more reasonable than the UK.
Oh,
like that's
things can happen.
Things can happen.
No, but honestly, like there was a lot of, because there was prior to this news, I think it was like either like a month or two ago, there was talk that China was kind of like indecisive, like they didn't know which way they were gonna go, because there was certain because I'm not entirely familiar with how that regulation process works in China, but I knew there was like certain parties involved in the decision-making process that weren't too fond of the deal. Mainly,
they weren't too fond of Activision in general.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mainly for Activision, because what was it? Not Tencent. The other one that they had a deal with, and then it fell through. I can't remember the name.
Oh man, I know it too. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Anyway, there was another Chinese company that was partnering with Activision for Call of Duty in China. And NetEase, that's what it was called, NetEase. So they had partnered with them to bring Call of Duty to China. And then I don't know exactly what happened between them, but Activision essentially just pulled out and was just like, nah, we're not going to do this anymore. And NetEase was just like, yo, what? Like, why are you doing this? Like, and they got pissed off about it. So now I think they were the main opponents of this deal going through. But thankfully, they weren't that big of a voice, and it got through without any concessions. So
it's kind of crazy simply because everybody thought, I was like, China's gonna block it. Like this, that's gonna be a block for sure.
Not only that, it's
no concessions.
Yeah, it's also two American companies. Like that's like the antithesis of China.
Yeah,
they wouldn't want that to affect their business, which it wouldn't, and that's why they decided like it won't.
Yeah, it goes to show you what are the CMAs doing? You know, what is it? What are they seeing that all these other regulators just either gloss over, or you know, what is really behind their decision?
I could go on about this. Like they are essentially just trying. I mean, I feel like I said this already.
We have.
That they're trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to bolster up their power and say they're a force to be reckoned with, even though they've only been around for like less than a decade. So, yeah. So it's just a whole crapshoot with them.
I mean, how can anybody want to do business in the UK when you have so much red tape that they can't even get things like HBO? They can't get what it looks like Activision games on Xbox. How do you expect the tech industry to move forward in business with the UK when you have the CMAs trying to, you know, bolster their own political and or, you know, financial gains?
Yeah, not to get too much into like the politics of everything. So I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about. Listen, you do another Twitch channel, right? Yeah, got you.
Fired.
No, so they were talking about, because one of the hosts he's from the UK, so he knows a little bit more about like how things work over there. So it's very interesting because he was saying that so you guys know generally about Brexit, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so like the UK pulled out of the EU and they wanted to kind of do their own thing. Part of that was they didn't like being regulated by the EU. So they were for like, or they didn't like the deregulation of it. So they wanted to have it more regulated. And they seceded and they wanted to do their own thing. And the propaganda that they were like spewing in the midst of all this Brexit stuff was that the EU is too like strict, they're too like enforceful, there's too much red tape, and there's like all this and that saying that, oh, the EU is like the bad guy. Now you look at this deal and the EU approved it and the UK didn't. For whatever reason, they decided to do it. So it's like, who has more red tape, the EU or the UK? And it kind of just flies in the face of what their original purpose for Brexit was.
I mean, they came to the same conclusions.
They did.
There could be harm for cloud gaming, but EU was like, but you're doing all these 10-year deals. We'll take it one step further. Give your games to all cloud gaming servers, even your rival ones. And Microsoft's like, you got it. And they said, okay, we're good. Here you go.
Exactly. It's called,
that was it. It was so easy for them.
It's called the art of the compromise, which is something the UK just does not wish to do for whatever reason.
No.
But
that's all right. I say let's be done with it. Close the deal. Cut Activision and Xbox out of the UK, pay their fine, and let's just move on. UK is obviously closed for business. Let's leave them in the dust.
I mean, we'll see what happens, because I definitely feel like once the FTC is dealt with, because you know that they're gonna lose their case, and that we'll see what happens with the UK.
Yeah. I mean, Satya Nadella said the same thing. He said, let's just wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. That's what we're all doing.
Pretty much.
All right, the last bit of news we have, the PlayStation Showcase. It was finally revealed to be coming this Wednesday on the 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So it's what, 4-hour time in the Eastern time?
Yeah.
So 4 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Unfortunately, what we wanted to do was hoping to do like a live show for both showcases. But looks like we'll all be working because it's a random Wednesday.
Yeah.
PlayStation decides to just do a showcase.
A random Wednesday in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's just like...
it's a weird time. But set to be an hour long. They're focusing on PS5 and PSVR 2 games in development. And they said they expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games from our third-party partners and indie creators. So let's get into it. Let's talk predictions. What do we got here? Talk to me.
All right. So I have an idea of how like we should do this, because I know a lot of people do like predictions, like the regular I wonder like I say the Spider-Man and stuff like that. So I want to do a little bit more interesting. So how about we pick 3 predictions that we think is going to happen.
Okay.
And one of them has to be like a wild card. That's just like the most insane thing that you could think of that could happen.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go first. I'll do one of my safe bets. I think we will see, I mean, obviously we will see it, is Spider-Man 2. We have to see more about Spider-Man 2. There's been rumors that it is coming this year, although last I heard is that Sony said it's coming fiscal year of 2023.
Yeah.
So that could be next year, technically. Although I don't think that's
beginning part of next year.
Yeah, it could be the beginning part of next year, although I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, I say Spider-Man 2 comes this year. And I also believe it will be announced for September, the week after Starfield comes out.
Is that a one? Is that just one, or is that two predictions on your side? Okay.
That's one prediction. Spider-Man 2 coming out the week after Starfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which that's gonna take a lot of balls, because Starfield's gonna eat up a lot of people's time.
But I mean, so at the same time, I feel like Spider-Man is sort of like a one and done game. You know, you play it, you beat it, you enjoy it, you beat it, and then you shelve it, and then you go to a game like Starfield where it has 1,000 planets for you to explore. You know?
Very true. And
That's
it's
how I
also
feel.
and Starfield's also in Game Pass, so it's like you don't gotta really worry about like getting it. You can just install it and then play it whenever.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
All right.
Brother Zay, what do you think about that?
Go ahead. What's your predictions?
My predictions? All right. I'm going to go. Fuck. I got no better to lose. I got nothing to lose. So we're in this. The safest bet is I'm also going to agree with producer Jay. Is that Spider-Man 2 is going to come out. They're just going to do. I don't know if they're going to say the announcement or anything like that. I just know there will be a trailer of it to be like, here we go. My second prediction, I feel like, I'm gonna let you know, these last predictions are games, or just new video games that may come out.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna go one by one.
Oh, okay.
So, hold that thought.
Okay.
Brother Zay,
Yes.
what is your prediction? Your first prediction?
My first prediction, the Final Fantasy 7-2.
Final Fantasy 7-2?
Yeah, the second part.
The second part of Final Fantasy.
Wait, didn't they already announce that?
No, they're gonna show it. They're gonna show it.
Oh, they're gonna show it. Okay.
We all know it's coming. We all know it's coming. They're just gonna show it. That's what he's saying.
We just don't know when, because it's been however long it's been since the first part.
And we are talking about Square Enix, and that's just the way they roll.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's one of my first predictions. I wanted to go a little bit differently, because I do agree with you guys about Spider-Man, but I'll do this one.
Okay.
Spider-Man seems like just the easiest. Like, if I got a safe bet for like a quarter, that's it.
All right, so I'll go next. My next prediction. Hold on, it's like a freaking fly coming around.
It sounded like you turned on a PlayStation. What's happening?
No, that was my TV.
Oh.
So my second prediction is, I feel like they're going to announce a partnership with Mortal Kombat, and it's gonna be not exclusive, but they're gonna announce the DLC is gonna be exclusive.
Okay.
So I feel like the DLC is gonna be first, timed exclusive rather, because they did announce the Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
And
it's
I don't
coming
know
out for everything.
Yeah, it's coming out for everything, but I think the DLC will be exclusive.
They do. They
Did you see the leaked DLC?
They do it a lot, yeah.
Have we seen it? No, I have not.
Okay, so that was actually something in the news that we missed. But anyway, I just thought about it right now.
Last week.
We talked about it last week, but they added somebody else that I didn't expect.
Who did they add? Let's go over that.
Just say it.
All right, so last week we talked that they were gonna add Homelander and Peacemaker into the DLC, along with other like mainstays of the Mortal Kombat world. But they're also going to add Omni-Man from Invincible.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of people are kind of mixed on that, just because that's another Superman type character. I mean, they're gonna have Homelander, and then they're gonna have Omni-Man as well.
Yeah, have the ultimate. I haven't seen too many death battles with them, so might as well make it true for the gaming world as well. Why not?
I mean, yeah, it's just about having fun. It's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's just
it's cool.
I feel like people are saying it's a waste of a spot just because it's the same type of character.
I see.
Haters, got it.
Yeah.
No, I like the idea of it, so I don't care.
Yeah.
But anyway, Brother Zay,
What's up?
what's your next prediction?
My next prediction is that we're going to see an announcement date for the new Last of Us game.
Oh, okay.
Which is
that's a good one.
Wait, so are you talking about a sequel?
no.
Or are you talking about the upcoming factions mode?
I'm
Or
talking
game?
about the factions game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I highly doubt they'll do like a whole new Last of Us. But I do believe they'll show us what it's going to look like when they do the faction. Like a full-on online story mode. And then like they'll be like, oh, and now you can make your own team on the story to see how you would survive.
That's actually... Because, I mean, all right, so, and this actually kind of ties back into what we were talking about, like the PC thing. So even though Sony did say that they were going to like stagger their release, I feel like that's only for single player focused games.
Yeah.
Games that are multiplayer focused, which they do have a lot in development, and that are like service games, I feel like those are going to release on PS5 and PC as well.
Yeah,
so factions...
Those were always supposed to be... the PC stagger releases were supposed to be for their first-party exclusive games.
Yeah, so I think... well, I mean, Factions technically is a first-party game. So, but because it's a games as a service, I feel like it makes more sense to release it on different platforms. So I feel like that's going to be PS5 and PC as well.
Okay.
I don't know if there'll be crossplay, because that causes issues, but it'll be released on both platforms.
Okay.
So, Brother Zay, your next position?
Silent Hill 2, but PSVR 2.
Ah.
You want the art?
Wait, when did they announce that was coming out?
I've seen some things about like a Silent Hill game coming out, so I have seen. Yeah. I believe that.
But nothing's ever been officially announced. There's just they had those teasers and that little thing that they had, but I don't know. If someone tells me maybe Silent Hill 2, and since they're gonna be focusing on PSVR 2, maybe they can get this for the PSVR 2. You know, because they need games on PSVR 2.
You want to know something? You want to know something really ironic?
What's that?
I know the prediction I gave was the Last of Us one. The other one I was thinking of was VR for Resident Evil 4.
Ah, okay.
See, that would be interesting, but how? It's not first person.
I mean, that's true, but still,
they would have to make it like a whole game then, because I mean, I guess they did the opposite for Resident Evil Village.
Yeah.
They made that third person. So I guess it's possible.
It's possible. It's possible.
And the first one actually did have a first person VR game, didn't it? The original Resident Evil 4?
Oh, I don't know.
Or maybe I'm bugging. I might be thinking of a different game. Anywho.
So what's your crazy prediction?
My crazy prediction is we will see Grand Theft Auto 6 announced at this showcase. And it will be a timed exclusive for PlayStation.
Nope, get out of here. I don't want to hear that. Get out. Leave the recording now. I'm sorry. No,
I said it was crazy.
That is absolutely insane. It can't be.
I feel like Sony is desperate enough to want to respond to Microsoft in terms of their acquisition of Activision and Blizzard.
I don't think Take-Two would do that. I don't know. I don't think they would do that. Nope.
I mean, I don't think so either, but stranger things have happened.
If this
Microsoft is buying Activision, okay? That is crazy.
If this comes true, I'm coming after you. That is crazy.
That is, I told you, this crazy prediction. This is like,
I don't know if I can top that.
Well, you better think.
I got
Brother Zay.
For my crazy prediction, I think we need a throwback.
Oh.
To a very popular series that was on PlayStation. That involved the character showing up on Smash Brothers as well. and had one of the craziest storyline of all time. That's right, a remake of Metal Gear Solid.
Oh,
Solid
okay.
Snake. We're gonna get all the series returns.
All of it.
All of them.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be like a collection type deal.
Now they're gonna announce it, and then they're gonna be like, "You remember all these good games?" And then there's gonna be remake of the first one, like they did for Resident Evil. It's like with all new graphics and everything. You're like, "I hope you're ready." And then they'll be like, "They'll DC to a new storyline." It's gonna be a weird thing.
Oh, so you think it's gonna be like completely different?
Yep.
Oh, that's
okay.
interesting.
That
Yeah.
is interesting. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll stick it on to the old school. Okay, we're talking about Twisted Metal, a brand new, fully next gen Twisted Metal. You know, we got the show coming out with Anthony Mackie.
That's so weird. That came out like so randomly.
It is random. It is random. But I can't top you guys' prediction, your crazy predictions. So
Because like freaking.
We all know, Spider-Man's gonna be there. You know, they have to show Spider-Man, especially if it's coming out this year. They're gonna show a little bit of it. So I think Twisted Metal will have to be what I can say.
I'm gonna make another crazy prediction.
Killzone.
What? Oh no! Your crazy predictions are giving me anxiety.
Bungie's next game will be announced.
Ooh, Destiny 2, Destiny 3.
No, it's not gonna be Destiny 3. It's gonna be something completely different. Imagine if it was just Destiny 3. I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, I don't fucking care. Like
Destiny. No. So you're thinking Bungie's next game? They
Bungie's
already said their
Halo
games are gonna be Bungie's Halo.
Bungie's making Halo again for PlayStation.
Oh no!
Halo 7,
PlayStation exclusive only.
right?
I can't with your predictions. You're giving me a headache.
You want a bigger one? Remember Killzone?
Oh my gosh! Imagine they bring Killzone back.
Let's say a new one too, just to continue the storyline.
Killzone was it Killzone?
I think
4?
maybe.
Oh, no. Was
3
it
or
Killzone?
4. I remember 2. I remember 2.
It'll be like Killzone Aftermath. I don't know.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
Well, they need something to compete with Call of Duty if Xbox gets it.
Made by Bungie.
Oh no!
The ultimate.
The Halo, the previous Halo killer made by the Halo creators. That would be crazy.
Full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
That is some crazy predictions right there for sure. No,
Yeah.
but no matter what, I hope both showcases, showcase for Xbox
No,
and for PlayStation are gonna be great.
I'm genuinely excited because I feel like, especially for PlayStation, they've just been so quiet. Like,
Yes,
literally, we knew nothing about what was coming from their lineup for like a year. All we knew was Spider-Man and Wolverine. That's it. And we knew KOTOR remake, which I don't even think is gonna come out anymore at this
who
point.
knows what's happening with that?
And then Final Fantasy 16. But that's it.
Do you imagine KOTOR comes out on the showcase? That's big.
Nah, there's that game is in development hell. They scrapped it.
They did?
They scrapped it. Yeah, they didn't cancel it, but they scrapped whatever it originally was. Like I don't think that developer.
Everything.
Yeah, the developer's not working on it anymore. They're changing developers. I don't think they locked down a new one though.
Rest in peace, Star Wars.
I know. They chose. And it's funny because usually when Sony backs a product or a project for like exclusive things, like it pays off for them. This is one of the rare times where it doesn't, and it's just like, who knows if that's gonna come out. But anywho,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it, and I can't wait. I just hope I'm able to stay off the internet long enough until I can watch it, because I will not be able to watch it when it is streaming.
I know. When the showcase ends, I will be getting out of work. So
I know, and that's always one thing. Like I deal with this when I watch like the WWE pay-per-views. If I don't watch it from the beginning, if I start it in the middle, I don't know where I'm starting, so I have to like start it and then quickly rewind so that I could start from the beginning. So I'll have
Look
to do
away
that for
while you
this show.
rewind.
Yeah, I'll be like, no, I didn't see nothing. So that's what I have to do for this showcase. But
Yeah,
it should be fun.
Stay on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mute everything on Twitter. Trust me, because there's already been leaks. I mean, we said we were gonna talk about it. These quote unquote leaked lists of showcase lists or whatever. So pathetic. Like
they're obviously fake.
They're ridiculous. Obviously fake. There's filled with like misspellings and just like games that still using the code. Why would they use the code name when it's supposed to be an internal sheet? Like it's stupid.
Code kids next door.
It's also funny how these lists came out right after that the Sony announcement, because they announced it like a few days ago. So it's like, where were these lists beforehand? They just magically got leaked right after they announced that a showcase was happening.
Fanboys is ready with Photoshop,
right? I don't know, but yeah. So we look forward to that, and I guess that'll do it for us today. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and follow us on our socials. You can see it on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, or you can see it in the description if you're listening on the podcast. And tune in to our, well, we don't have any live streams coming soon, but I do plan on doing it again, and I will announce when I'm doing it again. I don't know if Brother Matt is gonna live stream again. It really just depends on his schedule.
Setting up for the showcase one.
Right. Yes. Oh. So I may or may not be joining. We'll find out the day of. But
okay.
The Xbox showcase will be live stream. We'll do like a live stream reaction with Brother Matt and Brother Zay. You gonna join it too?
Yeah.
And Brother Tay, you're welcome to join in as well.
If I have the time, I will be there.
Yeah, because I know your schedule is changing, so we'll see.
Yeah, every day.
So, we'll keep you updated. We'll let you know prior. So,
I appreciate
that's not until 2 weeks anyway. So, we got
time. I know.
That'll do it for us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Later. See ya.
So about that Killzone game coming out, right?